It's June 23rd, 2020. Now, I'm going to explain this to my family because my family probably wondering like, yo, what's causing everybody to question their dad of all existence and creation through time and a paradigm? And I'm the one that made all space, all planets, all moons, all suns, all stars, all solar systems, galaxies, universe, all, everything of all the within and without of wealth, enrichment, purity, love, you know, of all lovingness. Now, I'm gonna just be real with you. There was a dude that I know when I was younger, while I was in my social recovery. His name was Quilab. And then, there was another dude that I knew, and his name was Payala. One day, individuals came to me, and it should have been stopped from happening, but one day, individuals came to me, was like, yo, this is my homegirl, this and the other, and it looked like my wife. And when I asked her name, she was like, oh, my name's Alexa, so-and-so. I was like, yo, you remind me so much of somebody I know, but I didn't want to tell her because, a young girl not knowing what's going on in life. I didn't say nothing. Now, my family was really into science, physics, mythology, magic, and all type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? All the people that I knew around me. So one day, this dude, he came to me. His name was Mayan. He was like, yo, man, I like this chick so-and-so. I was like, yeah, she looks wonderful, that's all I said. And then when he met her, when I met her first, then he told me how he felt, and then next thing you know, me and her ended up dealing, so I betrothed her. One day, after I finished betrothing her, going out with her, and then one day we were just chilling, and then I went to her family's house, and, I said hello to the family, then I betrothed her, we started kissing and all type of stuff, and then I just left. We ain't do nothing, so we just kissed, hugged, and we enjoyed the romantic, pleasant, innocent moment with each other at a point. Then one day this dude Collab approached me with, it seemed like 5 other guys, but it was like 3 other guys and himself. And then, I said, yo, what's up? When I was leaving from seeing her, and he said, yo, man, let me deal with that, man. It's more my pace. I should so and so. I was like, yo, she's around my age. She's around my age group. What are you talking about? I already betrothed her. And he was like, nah, man, this and the other so and so. I said, yo, listen, man, if something happens, then, go ahead. But I'm just telling you, I betrothed her, He has to understand what's really going on, even with his family, and I'm the head of his family. So I didn't say nothing. So one day we hanging out, I seen her, then I hear they were dealing a certain type of way. So when that happened, I said, wow, the family's gonna wonder a lot of situations. They're gonna end up in a lot of situations. I'm social recovery. My whole energy told me, yo, just forget about it. Don't really get too involved in it. That already made me wanted to stay away from them a certain type of way through time. So I said, all right, after that happened, I was like, I'm not putting these dudes close a certain type of way. I don't feel comfortable hanging out with individuals, and I love the guy so much because I know that's my literal child. So I said, hey, there was nothing else to say. So I just went about my business. All his brothers, his uncles, there's no uncles because they're all my children, but, to him, during my social recovery, for my safety, for the identity of my family, it was my children, but his brothers, whatever they wanted to do according to their social star chart, I knew all of them. So I said, all right. So one day something happened when we went to go hang out one day. I was a person now, I'm a workout fanatic. I love working out. When I'm happy, I always work out when I'm happy. Like there's nothing else to do. Wonderful life, wonderful health, wonderful habitation. So one day something happened during the workout, and I actually seen individuals almost seemed like they were going to hurt another family member of mine that was in a way higher than their social star chart. And then I stopped the situation from happening, from them hurting the individual, and jogging one day in a park. And then next thing you know, when the person, something happened to me, I ended up fracturing my wrist because I was defending my other child from the higher other social star chart. So I stopped the individual from hurting him, but I ended up getting hurt running up a hill while somebody else was chasing me. And then next thing you know, when I slipped, I fell, I fractured my wrist. And then when I took the mask off the individual, because they were in masks and they had weapons, I come to find out it was somebody else that I knew, and his name was Damiyat, something like that. Anyway, but of course I didn't say nothing at the time. You know what I'm saying? When I went to my house, my guardians, my other family, my guardians in the house, like, what happened? I told them a fib. I was like, yo, listen, I fell down the stairs and stuff. I hurt my wrist in the house and stuff. And then I had to go get a cast. And they found out my wrist was fractured. And the next day I went around them like, yo, you know, I'm not really hanging out too much, man. You know, this and the other, so and so. And I started doing my own thing because the way certain things happen. After that, I never really went to go. I worked out still, but I switched. After a while, I waited a little while. I switched the gym. I didn't want them to realize that, but I switched the gym I was working at, and I still continue working out a certain type of way and stuff. But I kept it to myself. I always kept it to myself. I never really said nothing. So one day I said, yo, you know, I'm thinking like, one day my family's gonna want to know what people want to cause identity theft. Well, I heard a story that this dude, I'm gonna tell you his name because he's also he's also a head of my family at a point and a level according to their social habitation. His name is Payala. I heard Kulab went to work one day. Something happened because he was Kulab's roommate. Something happened between him and an Ixa. I don't know if it was an argument or whatever the situation was, a certain type of way. And then I heard that Kulab, after while Kulab living there, I don't know what was the situation because I didn't see it for myself. I just heard it. I just heard what somebody else told me. And then next thing you know, I seen they had a child. And I was like, oh, when I seen the child, I was like, wow, look at this. This looks like my literal child. So another person said, how real is that you say that? I was like, this looks like my child, but damn, that's some bad condition. That's a bad situation because the child that you was born a certain type of way, he was like from another a star chart a little higher than his position of his social habitation, and on top of it is my child. So when he realizes who I am later on in life, it's gonna be a beyond serious situation. Then I said, all right, I ignored the situation from certain things happening. I don't know who knows Paula. And then individuals wanted to find out about me. They were really into mythology and stuff like that. And then, I'm the real Zeus. And then on top of it, I'm the head of all Shaolin, Sheolin, and Sholin temples. So, I'm just going to be real with you, So one day, I hear a situation. I keep hearing about the situation that happened between Paula and the Ixa. I don't know if it was true or not. But then Paula started working for a tech company dealing with some type of technical support when it comes to social habitation. And then I said, hey, my wife Ixa, she remind me a lot like my wife. But knowing that family legacy and lineage, they need, if we're going to the future, it's like a jewel. A person needs the exact pressurization for a jewel to have to give off the allure of the light it needs, so it doesn't crack or doesn't break or it doesn't cause identity theft even at a level. So one day I said, a person has to know this because it can't cause identity theft at a level, because if the jewel breaks, that means it was the wrong pressurization. And you don't want other social habitations of other families getting into social conflict endangering the secure foundation of one's security or social habitation or international security, caretakers. You don't want them being confused with what's going on in reality at a time. You don't never want an individual to be confused or what's going on with reality, especially when it comes to international security, like I said, caretakers, and also social equality of social economics when it comes to family members. So I said, yo, listen, if she reminds me like a precious jewel, if Collab already was wrong for giving a child a certain type of way, because if the family see that's my wife, they're gonna be kind of mad about the situation, because it's like somebody causing identity theft and causing the acceptance of a current of love that's gonna cause social upset throughout time and stuff, and cause confusion, and it may cause people to be malicious and vicious. And then the physics that individuals was doing at the time was like, we used to work out, practice, box. Some individuals was into martial arts. I was into martial arts. So the natural conduct, even if individuals ever sparred, the natural conduct at the time of the social quality and working out is going to happen a certain type of way. And you want other family members through legacies, lineages, and dignity to know what's going on a certain type of way. So there's a confusion when it comes to family and social dignity and comfortability of equality. So one day after that passed, for some reason that always been on my mind. Then I said, all right, it's never to really bother with situations a certain type of way. So one day when I was in North Dakota, I called on my wife Munai, the Raptor Empresses, and then I called my wife Munai, and I had called my wife Luna. And then next thing you know, I seen a movie like Munai was on the run. Like she was running, and then I don't know if you ever seen the movie with my other children and me when it comes to the Panther and the Black Panther, the Indian movie where individuals paint themselves blue when they go on the run and stuff. It's a survival for natural occurring. So my same family members, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm the real Dalai Lama also, but my same family members at the time when it seemed like the other brothers a certain type of way went and chased her, and then I'm the head of the Genghis Khan family, so it seemed like they chased her and then they had sexual intercourse and they gathered all together. And I looked at that like, damn, you just killed the whole family for nothing in current, and then I have an elder wife. So if that was a martial art blow, that was one fucked up blow right there. And then how could those individuals in their family, they should have been stopping from seeing that in a natural current in the physics, even that happening on television. Well, it was already on my phone, but I could imagine on television and movies for individuals do, and then it was the moon, you know what I'm saying, Munai. But she's the inner moon of the earth. That's like the point of like the acknowledgement of the moon. So the guy forcefully, took it a certain type of way. Other individuals got hurt in the movie. And then on top of it, my social calendar looked like my child of space, one of the children. According to that point, it seemed like they were being destructive when it came to him. And he looked like he wanted to end everything at that time. And then on top of it, I'm like, what? He's probably thinking to himself, what could have caused something like that in the paradigm of time? Now, remember, at that time, I already called Lovely also from the Triple Crown. But they have their own situation because, I don't be tripping. So I don't know if they cut off their own oxygen at a point of existence in social habitation. You're yet to find that out. And then I already spoke about certain things on YouTube, so you'll figure it out sooner or later. But if individuals is causing the wrong type of pressurization to a jewel and also a light to the current of anatomy on a celestial earth dealing with cellular activity that generates matter, it would be very beyond serious if somebody did something stupid. You know what I'm saying? So they would have to think about what's going on, and their purity, that means it would be spoiled. That means there's an individual that is pure, and then on top of it, they were just spoiling their time. So then on top of it, then it caused a natural current of the other children. I don't know. I never broke consecration, so I wouldn't expect consecration to be broken, and I wouldn't expect any individual of consecration that is broken to act uncontrollable in a paradigm of time or look for an excuse, because if they were trying to solve their situation. And then on top of it, if another individual to partake in it, then I could understand why individuals you would spar off or certain things will happen when it comes to other family, because especially when it comes to foundation of conduct, then you got to really think about what an individual life is all about after that. You know what I'm saying? What were you really doing in life, and what kind of consideration other people have of the purity of their honesty of especially when it comes to equality and family. So a person of purity, it looks like my Caucasian family, my white family, and other indigenous Indian or Asian family, even urban family, certain things could happen a certain type of way, and then they got to think about certain things or come to their social equality. And I'm on social recovery. I don't expect a person to bother me or try to cause identity theft or try to go after international security or revenue of my finances and then causing all type of upsets. And today is June 23rd, 2020. So I'm gonna just be real. So if a person caused identity theft, it would be those individuals because they got the wrong pressurization. So it means they got the wrong cock at a time. How many ways, and to set the natural foundations of one's natural current or reality or comfortability of life if you're educated and intellectual. And I already just spoke about it a certain type of way intellectually. So if a person was already causing upset within the family a certain type of way and lying to individuals would want to know who would be breaking into their accounts and doing funny things and just didn't care and was just living sporadically amongst other individuals. Now, I'm going to be real. I love my wife so much that I would exactly know the physics and what causes situations to family. The only person that I would know is the dad. And then on top of it, we'll be able to, repair it a certain type of way, but can't repair it with her because now she has a point of acknowledgement of life that she is like pressurizing the wrong start and causing certain things to happen to wonderful physical equality at a time. And then on top of it, through the social economics of the purities of that family member, wonder what would happen to their planet and to the highest levels of their purity, if it would be demoralized or brought down, or they would go through conflict or all type of situations through time. So, individuals have to figure it out according to their social star charts. But, when that situation happened with Ixa and Qualab, and the situation I heard about Paala being, violating a person's comfortability of social habitation. And Paala's my child, because I'm going to be real, I'm Pi also, but Paala's my child. But, I know myself, and even my wife, even at time for things like that not to happen, her excuse was she told me I had to chain you to a bed a certain type of way so individuals can control their emotions with certain things. And I'm like, I did everything perfect. It's not me. You need to chain your homegirl or your sister instead of me. And then she had to let me go. And then she seen how serious I was getting, so she didn't want me to get too mad, and I didn't want to be disrespectful, so I didn't break the chains of the reality. She just let me go herself with my wives because they realized how wrong they was at a certain time. You know what I'm saying? And especially them putting chains on me, and I'm the real Zeus. You know what I'm saying? Same thing happened with, when I was naming and preparing Iola's physics, even when it came with Hercules in situation of physics, because I finished Hercules physics, and the same thing when they were finding out that I was so powerful and Hercules was getting scared, and then I had to see how he treated my son Iola's at the time. You know what I'm saying? So when he realized I was beyond powerful, he got real scared about the situation. And then on top of it, Helen was not going to stop me from doing certain things because in a representation of love, she understood why a person has to honor the reason of equality. So I didn't say nothing even at the time. There's a couple other situations, but I didn't say nothing at the time. And you could really look at me because I told you I'm the real Troy. So, I'm not even going to get into the situation. So I'm just going to be real. So when situations like this happen in physics, especially in science, because you know how some people claim to be atheists, I'm an atheist and all type of stuff and so on, this and other, especially when it comes to science. And don't forget my magnet Ouija board that I told you about even when I was in North Dakota, dealing with electrical current that where you put the magnet board, it repels, and on top of it at certain points attracts to the point where you need to have consideration on the level of physics. So when the situation happened, I'm a wonderful man when it comes to gadgets, coming up with social equality of entertainment or forms of education, of science when it comes to metaphysics of one's physical reality, of materializing of one's higher anatomy of origin. So, I'm just going to tell you a certain type of way in certain sequence. So, I'm going to be real. After that type of situation, I just said to my family one day I would hate for them to question me or try me to find out who I really am, and I am. And then on top of it, the other people that's causing identity theft, sitting comfortable, probably even have shows on CCTV and all type of funny things, are getting away with committing fraud and uncomfortability, and on top of it, causing the Milky Way to wanna say, yo, arm up and go call Orion. You know what I'm saying? Because something else is going on, situations, and then I don't want my wife at the moon ever getting out of conduct and character of her physical reality, especially when it comes to verbally, knowing that all her grandmothers are my literal wives. So, even to the space star chart. So, I don't want to get into that type of situation. And then on top of it, the natural current of other individuals, because it would be easy to find them. They'll be driving around with their boyfriends. They'll be doing all funny type of things a certain type of way. And then you'll have other people comfortable with each other that's not supposed to be with each other in time, fucking up certain things of love because another person wants to know what's really going on. So, this is the basic situation. So if you're a real science or a scientist and you're doing jewel equality and you're projecting rays and giving pressure to jewels to see all type of things, even they already had the movie The Mummy where even a scorpion bracelet projected the real reality of certain things, and then on top of it, you're seeing the conflict through another person's current that's upsetting it, that's causing family members of equality that was meant to know certain things on levels, and also other people that was meant to keep certain things sacred on levels, trying to make sure nothing happened a certain type of way, but looking at the current or the mentality of other individuals trying to obtain the acknowledgement or education of certain physics of points of sacredcy, and also of social equality, of comfortability, and knowing the reason of their social dignity or historical event to their point of enlightenment throughout the paradigm of time. Now, what I just said was already self-explanatory and deep, and I don't have to further go into the depth of the education of that, what I just said, because now when you think back, you'll probably have to reel back this video and listen to the things I just said. So now, I'm just going to be real. Now, I'm just saying, if there was ever identity theft when it came to love and wondering if you're that, I'm really alive, so who would have been messing it up? My family, a certain way, that Sex Munai, that was such a sacred family that they usually train my children a certain type of way throughout the paradigm of time, and then they're of high honor. But I had situations with their mothers and some of their mothers throughout historical time, and it was already controlled in certain habitation and certain physics, even in certain conduct, even of the physical reality. So I'm just gonna be real with you. Another person has to really think about what's really going on. So if they're disrespecting their self to their purity, then they're in real danger. And then on top of it, I know family members at another point that is not going to accept that type of endangerment because they know when that love was out there, the love was supposed to go one way. So that type of situation they're going to get into is going to be beyond serious, a certain type of way, because it comes to the reason of their honor, their existence, and their love. So the individuals that did wrong was already evident and they're already out there. And if they're having social beef, is within their family and also within other families according to higher secrecy, which would make, other families may say, yo, you're old enough, you shouldn't be in my house, get out my house and go do your own thing with your boyfriend or your so-called affair of lustfulness, a certain type of way. Because a person in a level, the reflection will show you in honesty, a person deserves love, but they don't deserve to disrespect the point of their love through social equality when a person's on social recovery. But if a person continues, the love that they had is also of a little point of a higher social star chart. And on top of it, to show you how real this is, I ran into my other wife, China, one time, and then she said, nah, I'm going to go pick up my little brother. And then when I looked at her little brother, I said, hey, that looks like my child. She said, yeah, I'm trying to get into the music game, so and this and the other, and she was doing rhyming. I said, yo, that's wonderful, you know what I'm saying? And then I said, yo, I hope we get together. I wanted to do tracks with her, but at the time, my other child, Mr. Chin, you know him because he's from Madhouse Records. He was having social habitation, family issues with people, and especially when it came to the record label. So, and I'm on social recovery, and I did own it. So when my child was dealing with the revenue, I don't know what happened. And then considering the things that's going on with China and America now, and knowing America is also still a part of Asia. So there's nothing else to say about that, but, hey, man, I'm going to just continue enjoying. I have to go on a vacation. I'm going to have to continue enjoying my life. But if there was ever identity theft problem and you wanted to know who I am, I'm really here. I'm alive. If I happen to see individuals that I ever knew at a time, I could understand the situation and conduct. I'm a person that keeps to myself. So I understand certain things and the things that I view even at times, and I understand what's causing certain things. This is why I could answer your question a certain type of way, because another person might have wanted an individual to acknowledge certain things because the way they're manipulating their comfortability and the disrespect that they're doing of being manipulative in certain legacies, lineages, and dignity. So that's all there is to say and stuff. It doesn't, when a person says they're comfortable living a certain type of way. Now, I'm a person, I know what I did with this planet. I'm a star myself. So, I'm going to just be real. It's not wonderful killing family members for nothing just because of other people's stupidity and lustfulness and their uncontrollable motions when it comes to natural conduct. I'm just being real. So, there's nothing else to say when it comes to things like that. But, to everybody else that's being living, and especially to the urban social habitation, I don't know when people spoil your soil a certain type of way in conduct and in emotions, and then wondering why you shouldn't be chasing me for social, nourishment or value of revenue when you did it to yourself, and then you cause a situation. So either way, you're gonna be wrong, and other family members, also international security eyes, and my caretakers, and especially families of real secrecy and other family members. So I'm a person, I'm intellectual. I don't have to flip over cards or fake a charge to do funny things just to be noticed in the physical reality in life. When other people are doing wrong, it's gonna be evident, and you're gonna know the honesty and the truth when it comes to social rehabilitation. So, as more as the time of the current of the feminine gender gets ignorant, the more your balls is at risk to your social habitation. So the ignorance of your urban mentality of causing your soul to go spoiled is on you, And then on top of it, they shouldn't be chasing me to find out to fix the situation. Is the people that's letting the manipulation continue in the physics of the physical reality that's causing the situation, when they should have stopped the situation from happening in a social habitation throughout all time, because I am the honesty and the purity that kept everything surviving. So other people that's doing wrong, and then the urban family members lying to other individuals, letting them slide, and then other individuals at other high points saying, why is that happening? And then they hiding from family, saying all this, that, and other, and looking for you trying to spoil the Milky Way galaxy, which I can't even believe also, and other social habitations or other stars that you don't know about, is a shame on you. You know what I'm saying, for even doing that. And then on top of it, don't chase me or try to cheat me out of my revenue, value, wealth, or currency. And don't chase me trying to make my comfortability of my social equality uncomfortable because of your stupidity when it comes to natural physics of the humane condition of the physical reality, and your social and natural physics when it comes to metaphysics of your intellect and mentality when it comes to education. Have a wonderful day.